Welcome back to Bonus Gym. Today is March 8th, 2024. This is week 6.3, thigh routine, and we'll be talking about the speed police. Let's hit it! About weightlifting speed limit, speed of movement. Be careful out there. Someone might make a video criticizing your workout to make himself appear smarter. Too bad he doesn't know what I know. There are 7 billion people on the planet, and we all have different genetics, like a fingerprint. There is no one-size-fits-all workout. Simon Says doesn't seem to grasp this concept. That's where I come in. I'll give you the tools to easily figure out your own body's needs. A recent question of cadence reminded me that I should talk about this. So we tried every speed. So much that I was starting to feel like a 15-speed bicycle. First, we did explosive positive and very slow negative to about 5 or 6 seconds. We tried 2 seconds positive and 4 seconds negative. We tried that with a long pause between the contracted position. We tried it with all sorts of pause time in the contracted position. We even tried 2 seconds up, very brief pause, and just a controlled negative. So far, for both of us, the only muscle that showed any benefit from staying contracted for a second was abdominal. My wife would hold the contracted position for 10 seconds. Recently, I had her try doing what I do. Just hold until all of her breath was expelled completely. That seemed to work as the reps went down and her abs were tighter. When we were doing 2 second positive, quick pause at the contracted position, and 4 second negative, we were adding a rep or 2 every workout. No biggie. We were doing Simon Says, so if you know me, I punched Simon in the face. I decided to change the speed just to see what happens. I know what you're thinking. Holy shit, you're gonna skip a gear and derail the machine. Well, I'm gonna tell you something that will go against all of the research. But first I'm gonna say this. Remember, we all have different musculoskeletal genetics, like a fingerprint if you will. So as such, if a study involved 100 people, and there is 7 billion people on the planet, and some of the 100 people showed good results from the controlled study, then maybe you should blindly follow Simon. Do what Simon tells you to do, like a good follower. We have over 100 videos and many have clear instructions on how to conduct your own experiment on yourself. I packed all the instructions in a playlist explaining my HIT program. Okay, so I get sidetracked a lot. I don't like using fancy words like inroad, concentric, eccentric, yada yada, blah blah blah, boring science words. I prefer to keep things simple. Why do we need to use these words? Oh, to impress Simon so Simon knows you're being controlled like a good puppet. We do want to make Simon happy, don't we? We were conditioned to make Simon happy when we were 3. We're grown now. As long as Simon uses backed by scientific clinical studies, and it works for Simon, who is muscular and obviously on something, the blind will follow without question. Alright, so back to what happened. When I changed the speed, I started doing a controlled explosive positive. Never snap at the weights. You can tear something. I would hold the contracted position for a hot second, and do the negative in a slower controlled speed. The old Simon Says 2-1-4 second tempo when we started. Personally, I prefer cables and machines for their self-spotting capabilities. With that speed and my required reps, my workout took forever, and I was exhausted about halfway through. So I decided to change the tempo. Yes, I had to figure out the weights again. Faster speed, I had to go up in weight. No big deal. The speed had no effect on my personal rep range. Basically, I go as fast as what feels natural. My rep range remains the same no matter what speed. I don't drop the weights or let the plates smash. Here's a good example of how my methods work. I'll use just one body part. 5 weeks ago, my calves were 15.5 inches cold on Saturday morning. Now they're 16 inches. Yes, in 5 weeks, using my methods for reps and speed, I gained a ½ inch on my calves alone at 54 years old natural. However, there is one technique I do differently with calves. I slightly bounce the weight at the contracted position. Calves are a tough muscle. I wouldn't recommend this to others. It's your body. You figure out you.
I know I have to tell you this because if you hurt yourself, well, don't try to blame me. My tendons are like iron. It doesn't matter if I go slower or faster. Slower is less weight and faster is a bit more weight. Slower takes longer and uses more energy to get to my personal rep range. It makes no difference how my tempo is. My rep range is what it is, and that won't change. Slower or faster, add 1 or 2 reps per workout on every exercise. It's just something you will have to experiment with. If you're one of the lucky ones who respond to 8 to 12 reps, you have the luxury to do the 2-1-4 tempo and be done with 15 exercises in 20 minutes. For me, total time actually working out is usually around 18 minutes, plus moving from exercise to exercise, short breaks, and setting up is around 30 to 40 minutes. My personal rep range is 16 to 22 reps for most exercises. The hardest muscle I have trying to figure out is shoulders. I think we can all agree on that. Every upper body exercise uses shoulders. The easiest shoulder exercise to figure out on my shoulder is rear delts. That muscle is rarely used, so I'll be sure to do it a lot. While I'm working out, I'm always on the lookout for the speed police. Just want to be sure I'm not breaking any lifting speed laws. The last thing I need is to get arrested for breaking the weightlifting speed limit. Whew. At the end of the day, it's time under tension. I'm sure you've heard that one before. Time under tension. It's actually another scientific study of a few people. Am I the only one who figured this mess out? It's how many reps you need to do to get stronger, to dig into the reserve part of the muscle tissue. It has nothing to do with time. If that was the case, then a 2-minute rep would do just fine. If it was 3 sets or 5 sets, how about 50 sets then? I'll take 1 set to failure and my personal rep range consistently to get stronger every workout and at the speed that feels comfortable. This one says go this slow, another says go that slow. I'm sick and tired of these nut jobs telling me what works for me, especially since no scientific study was done on me. From form to technique, to sets and reps, to speed. The problem is, they don't know me. 7 billion people on the planet, and they think they have all of the answers for me. Ask them if we all have the same exact genetics in the muscle and bone. No is the answer. Ask them if they did a clinical study on you and what works for you. No is the answer. I bet they wouldn't even know where to start. They always had the same answer. Do 3 sets of 10 ppl. Because studies show, and do this workout for the next 10 years to achieve the results you want. They are the form police, the speed police, the sets police, and the reps police, all designed to prevent you from achieving your maximum potential. Doing your own research on yourself doesn't take a lot of time. Within the first 10 weeks, while adding up to 20 pounds of muscle with all of the techniques I give you in my videos, you will have figured out what works for you as well as even fine-tuning it. You can go back to the first video I put up and see for yourself that I did the 2-1-4 second rep. I always try different things, as you should you. How would you know what works for you personally if you only follow Simon Says, who bases his advice on a study of a tiny group of people and what worked for Simon while on gear? Remember, people, they base their workouts on a very, very few number of people and themselves. Many are on something, no big deal to me. It's a personal choice. My point is, how interesting is it to try to copy what they do as if it will work for us? Don't get twisted. I did it too. I'm just not that guy that will keep doing something with little to no results. What's the point? Because it works for Simon? I have digested so much material on this subject in my life. It was only recently when it all hit me at the same time, when I decided to figure out how to go about figuring out how to figure out how to actually gain muscle fast, and not just for me, but for everyone. So, there it is. I've laid it all out in my videos. Nope, I'm not going to bother writing a book. It's already here for you for free because I'm crazy like that. I just got sick and tired of seeing everyone get ripped off. One would think a personal trainer should know his stuff. Nope, they do the same old Simon Says nonsense. I mean, Doesn't the term personal trainer imply they will figure out what works for each of their clients? By stumbling onto my babbling, you will figure out what works for you and fast. I'm going to tell you that if you use a faster speed, you will need to be very careful on the negatives toward failure. When you can no longer control the weight, you're done. Do more and tear a muscle. Remember, think of it. I will repeat it as many times as possible so everyone understands. We all have different muscular skeletal genetics. We even have different muscularity. Some of us have more dense fibers than others. Some of us will respond better to slow and some to fast movements. Some of us high reps and some of us low reps. 7 billion people on the planet. A study showed good results for 100. Yeah, I'll figure me out instead of doing Simon Says stuff. Y'all can do whatever you want. This is why it's important to track every workout. If not, you won't remember what happened. I will provide my personal workout chart. Copy it if you like. Print it, scribble on it, make mean memes about me on it. Though you should use it to track your workouts. This last Monday, my workout sucked. It's leg routine week. By the time I was finished with 6 leg exercises, I was pooped. So, I had little energy left to do the rest of my workout. I did what I could and completed all 15 exercises. Perhaps I've been working a lot on my property. Who knows? The important thing is I wrote it down. I will use less weight for the rest of the week for the non-leg exercises. Next week is back week. It doesn't quite use as much energy as thighs. In summary, go at the speed you're comfortable with, but don't hurt yourself. Experiment with speed.
Till I got it, I won't give up till I'm on top.
I'm always flirting with pain, she like to hurt me and maim. I'm always working to change, but she's still lurking the same. I keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me, but they hate from inside. You see, hate themselves as society, so I let them speak quietly while my actions speak wider. See, they be hiding in privacy with the screen. Oh, the irony to hate someone who's trying to be whatever they would like to be. We all feel the anxiety, we make our own rivalries. Yo, so where is all the positivity? I feel like we all just hate on everything, it's killing me. Thoughts build quick, causing different possibilities. Negative thoughts will cause different disabilities. So do better, work hard under pressure. If you got no time, work smarter than ever. Don't ever let them tell you that you can't never say never. And turn your mind into the truest of go-getters.
Never stop,